So, do you really know that this whole sex idea, this whole pursuit of female attraction and enjoying their attention and feeling like you need their energy, everything is all in the mind. It's all in the mind. The mind amps all this up, via imagination and the excitement that it creates. It's the anticipation of it, of the act. Like, whoa, like I met a girl and I'm thinking about, the way she smiled, and oh man, that was cool. Oh, I wonder what can happen. Maybe we can go out and it'll just be awesome. And then, oh man, if we can have sex, maybe there'll just be these fireworks, and then my friends will see me. I'm with this badass girl, and what the hell is that? Some creatures crawling up a tree. Got to be on point when you're deep in the jungle. and so you got all these scenarios playing in your mind, and then that gets you all excited. And then the emotion and the instinct that we have as a human being, God put this software in us, so we're not to blame. He knows the game he's created, and he himself is incarnated. It's just all God. How can something exist without God? The God essence or molecule is fueling everything. So this I'm only able to sit here and talk because of this universal presence and essence. So it's actually God playing the game of trying to evolve himself through these separate forms. It's not like a separate, like there's me and then God's somewhere else and I'm trying to get to God. It don't work like that. The mind creates that too. Anyway, I think I'm getting into my spiritual channel talk. But so these biological programs are installed in this body, so that also perpetuates this whole excitement that the mind and imagination creates around sex and pursuing the opposite sex and all that stuff. And then the emotions that get created when we start thinking about these things, you get excited, don't you? You're like, whoa, is she gonna call me? Oh shit, she's calling me. Get excited. So the emotions are involved, the mind's involved, and then you experience the physical sensations, because the body is like the canvas that the mind and the emotional body plays out in. And the nervous system, it's hooked in. It relays the thoughts and the feelings and everything. It's the bridge between the mental body and emotional body and the physical body. So it gives the physical body the ability to experience these sensations and everything that the mind and emotions and nervous system's creating. So this experience is super real. That's why I keep saying this is a high level virtual reality game, man, that we're in. It's so real that most people think this is what they are. They just think this is what they are. It's like an actor that goes on and does the play. He puts the costume on, and you can't convince him he's not that character. He leaves. He looks like, he's, I don't know, what's a character? Henry V. I don't even know who that is, but I know the name. And then he leaves after he did the show, and then he's going out to dinner, and he's still wearing his costume, and he's still talking like he's Henry V. And you're like, okay, dude, like the play ended. So what are you talking about, play? I'm not playing. So yeah. It was a good performance, man. But you're not. Like, what are you doing? So what are you doing? You're talking about performing. Like, what are you talking about? This is how the human mind is. This is how a lot of people are living. And even if they were to say, yeah, I know it's not true, it's the character saying it. They don't really know that this is a play. Deep. So anyway. That's all this whole sexual instinct thing is. It helps to kind of just know that. Even if it's intellectual. Just if this makes sense, my description that I gave, contemplate that more. That gives some space between when you're when this feeling, this compulsion to engage in these sexual habits of lust and edging and the whole biological tendency that we have, when you just remember that, like, that this is a great a great play that we're in, and because of the mind and the emotions, it just makes the sensation feel so real to chase girls and to do all that. But yet it's just a sensation. You got to contemplate that. You're like, wait, this is just a feeling I have. Doesn't mean that it's actual truth. It's just a feeling that comes up that's really strong. I engage and go with it, and next thing you know, I'm thinking this is reality. But it's just a combination of a bunch of tendencies and feelings pretending to be reality. Just contemplate that. That gives a little space. You won't get so taken up by when the play of life happens, when the play of biology, takes place. You'll see it more. You're like, oh wait, the play of biology's coming. It's really strong. Well, I guess I'm going to do it, but I know that it's still a play, even though I'm doing it. You just start there. You start there. This is evolution. This is how we accelerate our evolution. It's actually also a really good escape. See, it's a high level drug, this dopamine, in chasing sex and the whole sex arena. Jesus, you can get lost in that world on such a deep level. It's such a strong vortex. Once you enter into that, look at this whole porn industry. This keeps getting darker and darker, and you can't feel much when you're in that world. You don't need to look at yourself and your issues or nothing. It's like your whole life has just become like, an escape. Like you're using this debaucherous, perverted mind in sex as a way to just escape your life. And you can do that in different levels. It doesn't have to be on such gross level, but subtle levels. See, because it's a great escape. No different than people, when they drink, they're having a hard day, and so let's just go to the bar. I want to get rid. I don't want to feel all this, or smoke weed, whatever. There's so many escapes. This is a big one, though. This is a really big escape. Because when you think about it, back to what I'm saying about it's just an illusion. If you think, like, a girl looks at you, normally you're excited by it, and you want to duplicate that. Don't have any imagination around it. Just do this as an exercise. Don't have any no self-talk. There's no commentary. There's no future projection, what might happen. There's no relating her look to, ooh, I must be worthy. I feel she's looking at me. I'm somebody. First, you got to be aware that this self-talk takes place. People, they're not even aware of it. Again, it's like just a machine. They're identified with this machine, and they think this is the machine. They don't actually introspect. You got to introspect if you want to become free. So just look at all that, Like, just be very present and empty-minded. You don't have to do it forever. You can't anyway. Just for a few seconds to get some perspective. You're in public, a girl looks, just shut everything down. You're here. Oh, she's looking. You don't have to say that, but just notices somebody looked at me. They smiled. Huh. Do it during sex too. Sex is totally, for the most part, fantasy. Are you thinking, and people get excited, oh, they're so hot. Boy, yeah, I really want to have sex with them. When you're having sex and you're in the dark, and are you focused on how hot she looks? Whoa, man, she is so hot right now. You're not even thinking about it. Most people are thinking about having an orgasm. She's thinking about it too. Like, they're not even connected. You're having sex, which really means deep communion. If you want to get into what sex really is, like what is sex? It's sacred. You're unifying each other's energies together. But when you're thinking about the orgasm all the time, what is that? You're just using each other as a masturbational instrument. So the point is, the whole thing starts and it's most exciting before you have sex. See, I always knew that. That's why I didn't really want to have sex. I felt like after sex, it's all downhill. Like the whole thing is done now. I like the whole fantasy and intrigue and, anticipation of doing it and get close to doing it and then make an excuse to get out of it so you don't have to do it. I was a little weird, Not for me, but... So, you just recognize that. Because in reality, what's the big deal? If you're just having normal sex, I used to think it was a big deal. Like before I ever had it. I lost my virginity, I think, when I was 17 with an ex-convict lesbian. That's my first. She was nice too. But I remember, and then I was really excited. I had a very big smile afterwards, right? And then I went downstairs in the morning, and her mom was in the kitchen. And I couldn't stop smiling. I was just like high as hell. And I think that she knew. And I think it's funny as hell thinking about that, though. Yeah, anyway. But I used to think like sex was such like, whoa, there's going to be fireworks and the God's, going to part the sea or something, or it was just going to be, it was no different than masturbation for me, like as far as the feeling, the euphoria. I mean, it was cool, it was exciting, it was my first time, but after that, I was like, after I did it a few times, I'm like, this isn't what it was all chalked up to be from others. I'm like, what's the big deal? Now you start getting into tantra and stuff, that's different. But it's not an exciting thing. I made videos about that. You're not, the mind is just a liar. That's my point. It's just a liar. So catch it out. Don't let yourself get so caught up into these illusions that are just designed to make something appear greater than it really is. Not a big deal. It's a big deal. What's the big deal about anything? The big deal? Knowing who we are. Feeling this contentment, this peace inside that's not contingent upon anything out here happening or not happening. That's a big deal. Got to go to my spiritual channel to hear about that, though. All right. See you next time.